Did you know that by the age of 80, your muscle mass might be reduced by as much as half compared to your younger self? This condition, known as sarcopenia, profoundly limits the freedom of millions globally, affecting over 55 million older adults. Each year, more than 320,000 seniors are hospitalized due to falls directly linked to muscle weakness. Yet, recent scientific discoveries are challenging the long-held belief that such significant muscle decline is an unavoidable part of aging. Researchers have found individuals in their 70s who possess the strength, physical capability, and even appearance of people decades younger. In stark contrast, many peers in the same age group struggle with simple daily tasks like standing up or climbing stairs. These remarkable individuals maintain full autonomy well into their 90s, often outperforming people half their age in physical assessments, still enjoying demanding activities like mountain climbing and various sports. So what's their secret? The astonishing truth is that 92% of older adults are completely unaware of the precise habits that can effectively delay or even reverse age-related muscle loss. What's more, even many medical professionals often overlook informing their senior patients about the most crucial steps for regaining lost muscle, even in their 70s and 80s. Scientific evidence suggests that conventional medical advice frequently contradicts what's truly essential for preserving strength as we age. Stay tuned, because the very first habit we'll discuss is something you might be doing incorrectly every single day. This common error can accelerate muscle loss by activating specific genes. Correcting just this one behavior could mean the difference between enjoying your later years independently and requiring assistance. Let's dive in and uncover these transformative insights. As we navigate the later stages of life, a significant concern that often goes unaddressed is the gradual, yet substantial, loss of muscle tissue. This isn't just about feeling a bit weaker. It's a fundamental shift in our body's composition that impacts everything from balance and mobility to overall vitality. The statistics are stark. A large percentage of older adults experience severe muscle degradation, leading to a cascade of negative health outcomes, including increased risk of falls and diminished capacity for independent living. This widespread issue has historically been accepted as an inevitable consequence of aging. However, modern scientific inquiry is dismantling this long-standing assumption. The contrasting realities are striking. Some individuals defy the typical trajectory of aging, exhibiting robust physical prowess and endurance well beyond what is commonly expected for their chronological age. These superagers serve as living proof that substantial muscle decline isn't a fixed destiny. Their lives demonstrate that the body's capacity for strength and resilience can be maintained and even improved, offering a beacon of hope for everyone striving for an active and autonomous future. The key lies in understanding the specific practices they employ, practices that are often contrary to mainstream understanding. Habit 1. Harnessing controlled stress, the power of hormesis. One of the most intriguing and seemingly paradoxical approaches adopted by exceptionally strong individuals in their 80s involves deliberately exposing their bodies to specific forms of stress, known as hormetic stressors. Hormesis describes a biological phenomenon where substances or conditions that are detrimental in large doses prove beneficial in small, controlled amounts. Essentially, what doesn't eliminate you can make you stronger, particularly in the context of muscle health. Studies reveal that brief, targeted exposure to certain stresses can activate deep-seated cellular defense mechanisms. These internal processes work to preserve and even enhance muscle function and promote growth, even in individuals well into their later decades. A prime example of a hormetic stressor utilized by these remarkable superagers is temperature variation. This practice is instrumental in activating brown fat, boosting mitochondrial biogenesis, the creation of new energy powerhouses within cells, and stimulating the release of hormones that specifically shield muscle tissue from breakdown. Short bursts of cold exposure, such as concluding showers with 30 to 60 seconds of cold water or brief immersions in cold water, can be highly advantageous. Similarly, saunas and hot tubs offer benefits by activating heat shock proteins, which play a crucial role in protecting muscle cells from damage and facilitating their repair. A comprehensive Finnish study, spanning a decade, found that consistent sauna use, defined as 4 to 7 times per week, was linked to an impressive 40% less muscle loss compared to those who did not use saunas regularly. Another powerful hormetic strategy is intermittent fasting, which involves restricting food intake to specific time windows. To enhance muscle quality and stimulate autophagy, the vital cellular cleaning process that removes damaged components. These supereggers limit their eating to an 8 to 10-hour window each day, without necessarily aiming for weight loss. This strategic eating pattern can significantly improve mitochondrial activity within muscles, showing an increase of up to 10% in just 12 weeks. The third type of hormetic stress involves brief but intense muscle contractions. A highly effective exercise technique for this is overcoming isometrics. In this practice, individuals repeatedly push or pull against immovable objects, exerting maximum effort for short durations, typically 5 to 10 seconds. These powerful, short-burst contractions send strong signals to muscle cells, encouraging them to maintain their size and activity levels without placing excessive strain on the joints. The critical element for the effectiveness of all these stressors is their intermittent nature. They must be brief, followed by ample recovery time. When applied correctly, these controlled stresses activate genes associated with longevity, whose primary function is to maintain muscle mass as we age. It is always advisable to gradually incorporate these habits, allowing your body sufficient time to adapt. The ultimate goal is to achieve gentle, beneficial stress that strengthens without overtaxing. Habit 2. Strategic protein distribution, fueling your muscles smartly. While the overall quantity of protein consumed is undoubtedly important for seniors, emerging research suggests that when protein is consumed may be even more vital. Scientists use the term anabolic resistance to describe the age-related decrease in the body's efficiency at utilizing dietary protein. A study indicated that, contrary to popular belief, seniors should distribute their protein intake throughout the day rather than concentrating it all into a single large meal. Here's the crucial insight. Your muscles experience a prime window of opportunity for protein synthesis, occurring approximately 3 to 4 hours after each meal. Many seniors inadvertently consume the majority of their protein at dinner, meaning their muscles are not receiving sufficient protein across the day to support continuous growth and repair. The optimal approach is to strategically space out your meals and aim for a consistent 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein with each. Instead of common breakfast choices like cereal or toast, consider more protein-rich options such as eggs, Greek yogurt, or a protein smoothie. Maintain this balanced pattern through lunch and dinner, incorporating lean meats, fish, dairy products, or excellent plant-based protein sources like lentils and beans. Distributing protein intake in this manner can boost muscle protein synthesis by as much as 25%, compared to consuming the identical total amount of protein in fewer, larger meals. In a 12-week study, participants who adopted this balanced approach gained an average of 1.2 pounds of muscle without making any other lifestyle modifications. If your goal is to enhance muscle strength or prevent further loss, it's not simply about eating protein. It's about precisely when you eat it. Habit 3. Optimizing your vitamin D levels, the muscle vitamin. Did you know that over 80% of older adults are deficient in what scientists call the muscle vitamin? Widespread vitamin D insufficiency among seniors quietly undermines their strength. Yet, Vitamin D's role extends far beyond just bone health. Researchers have discovered its critical function in activating genes directly involved in muscle building and synthesis. Muscle cells are equipped with specific vitamin D receptors that, when adequately stimulated, trigger the complex processes essential for developing and maintaining muscle mass. A groundbreaking study revealed that seniors with optimal vitamin D levels demonstrated 25% greater muscle strength. Furthermore, they exhibited significantly improved reaction time, coordination, and balance compared to their counterparts with inadequate levels. These factors are critically important in preventing falls, a major concern for older adults. Vitamin D deficiency is typically defined as blood levels falling below 20 nanograms per milliliter, Ing/ml. In contrast, the superagers, who seem to defy the aging process, consistently maintain levels above 40 nanograms per milliliter. What are the most effective strategies for achieving optimal vitamin D? While sun exposure is beneficial, its efficacy decreases with age. Our skin's ability to produce vitamin D from sunlight declines by 50% between the ages of 20 and 65. The standard recommended daily intake of 600 international units, IU, is often insufficient for seniors. Therefore, supplementation is usually necessary. Although individual needs should be determined through a blood test, research suggests that most seniors require between 2,000 to 4,000 IU per day to reach and maintain adequate levels. Complement this with vitamin D-rich foods such as fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified dairy products. When possible, aim for 15 to 20 minutes of direct midday sun exposure. A crucial cautionary note: sufficient levels of vitamin K2, found in fermented foods and certain animal products, are essential. K2 helps direct calcium specifically to the bones, preventing its accumulation in arteries, which can lead to arterial calcification. High-dose vitamin D supplementation without adequate vitamin K2 can inadvertently contribute to this problem. This often overlooked interaction between these vital vitamins can be a key factor in your success. Always consult your doctor for a blood test to determine your specific vitamin D needs. Aim to keep your levels above 40 nanograms per milliliter to actively prevent muscle wasting. Habit 4. Daily inflammation management, cooling the fire within. What do exceptionally strong older individuals consistently have in common? Interestingly, they all exhibit remarkably low levels of inflammation. Researchers have recently concluded that inflammaging, or chronic low-grade inflammation, plays a significant and often underestimated role in muscle loss among the elderly. This subtle, persistent inflammatory process causes muscle proteins to break down at a faster rate than the body can rebuild them. Moreover, inflammation actively inhibits the anabolic signals that would typically promote muscle growth in response to exercise and protein intake. A landmark study found that seniors with the highest levels of inflammatory markers lost muscle mass 3 times faster than those with the lowest levels, regardless of their protein consumption or exercise habits. Superagers, who successfully maintain their youthful strength, employ specific anti-inflammatory strategies that most seniors tend to overlook. Their top priority is ensuring quality sleep, achieved by maintaining a consistent bedtime and sleeping in a completely dark room. Sleep deprivation can dramatically accelerate muscle loss by increasing inflammatory cytokines by as much as 40%. Secondly, they pay meticulous attention to their gut health. Age-related shifts in gut bacteria directly contribute to systemic inflammation. New research indicates that the diets of superagers consistently include a wide variety of plant-based foods, often more than 30 different types per week, fermented foods such as yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut, rich in natural probiotics, and diverse sources of fiber consumed daily. Thirdly, they carefully plan their workout intensity. While regular physical activity is essential, seniors should judiciously avoid overly strenuous or prolonged workouts, as these can paradoxically exacerbate inflammation. The typical superager engages in moderate-intensity exercise most days, incorporating short, intense bursts of high-intensity activity only once or twice a week. Lastly, they regularly consume specific anti-inflammatory compounds, such as omega-3 fatty acids, typically 2 to 3 grams per day from fatty fish or high-quality supplements, curcumin, derived from turmeric, and polyphenol-rich foods, like colorful berries, green tea, and extra virgin olive oil. Researchers have found that age-related changes in gut bacteria alone can increase inflammatory markers by up to 29% in as little as 12 weeks. A simple blood test, measuring high-sensitivity C-reactive protein, HSCRP, can help you monitor your inflammation levels. Superagers typically keep their levels below 1 milligrams per liter, in stark contrast to the average senior, whose levels are often 3 to 5 times higher. Habit 5. Essential micronutrient intake, the unsung heroes of muscle. While most dietary advice centers on macronutrients, protein, carbohydrates, and fats, superagers with remarkable muscle strength pay meticulous attention to specific micronutrients that fundamentally support protein synthesis and muscle function. These essential nutrients act as crucial facilitators, helping your body maximize the benefits derived from the protein you consume and the exercise you perform. Without them, no amount of protein or strenuous exercise will be fully effective in preventing muscle loss. Researchers have aptly labeled magnesium as the forgotten electrolyte for muscle health. This vital mineral is indispensable for over 300 enzymatic reactions involved in proper muscle function, yet an alarming 70% of older adults are deficient in it. A study compellingly demonstrated that seniors with adequate magnesium levels possessed 30% stronger grip strength and significantly superior physical performance compared to those with even slightly low levels. In addition to supplementing with highly bioavailable forms of magnesium, superagers regularly consume magnesium-rich foods like dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and dark chocolate. Next up is creatine. This isn't just for young bodybuilders. Creatine supplementation significantly improves muscle mass, strength, and cognitive function in older adults, often more effectively than strength training alone. A consistent daily intake of 3 to 5 grams can notably enhance muscle energy production and water content, creating a favorable anabolic environment for muscle preservation and growth. Another frequently overlooked nutrient is methylated B12. As we age, our stomach produces less acid, which unfortunately reduces our ability to absorb B12 efficiently. This absorption challenge is further exacerbated by common medications such as proton pump inhibitors and metformin, which severely deplete this essential vitamin. A B12 deficiency impairs both nerve function and vital muscle energy production. Superagers typically supplement with methylcobalamin, which is the active, more absorbable form of B12, rather than the cheaper, less effective form found in most generic multivitamins. Finally, crucial mineral cofactors like zinc, selenium, and chromium also play a vital role in facilitating protein synthesis and maintaining optimal insulin sensitivity. A comprehensive study indicated that optimal levels of these trace minerals were associated with a remarkable 22% greater maintenance of muscle mass over a 5-year period. Targeted micronutrient testing can empower individuals to identify their specific nutritional gaps, allowing for precise supplementation rather than relying on a generic multivitamin. This personalized approach can lead to better outcomes and also help avoid unnecessary expenses. Habit 6. Preserving neuromuscular connections, the brain-muscle link. Here's a fact that most seniors are unaware of. When muscles weaken and atrophy, it affects more than just the muscle fibers themselves. Often, the weakest link in the chain is the connection between your muscles and your nervous system. Neuromuscular junctions are effectively the electrical outlets that power your muscles. When these vital connections begin to deteriorate, which happens at an accelerated rate after age 60, no amount of protein or strenuous exercise can fully help your brain communicate effectively with your muscles. New research compellingly demonstrates that exceptionally strong superagers possess far superior neuromuscular connections compared to the average senior. Even more excitingly, researchers have identified several concrete strategies to preserve or even repair these critical links. The first involves engaging in activities that require coordination and the precise execution of a series of predetermined movements. Activities such as Tai Chi, dancing, playing tennis, or even ping pong have been shown to enhance brain pathways to muscles, thereby strengthening neuromuscular connections more effectively than regular strength training or simple walking. These activities demand that your nervous system actively recruit muscle fibers in highly specific, intricate patterns. One study specifically demonstrated that older adults who participated in coordination-demanding activities twice weekly preserved their neuromuscular connections a remarkable 31% better than those who only engaged in conventional exercise. The second strategy focuses on specific compounds that promote neuromuscular health. Scientific evidence suggests that compounds like alpha-lipoic acid and acetyl-L-carnitine can actively protect the nerve-muscle link from oxidative damage. Encouragingly, certain forms of B1, such as benfotiamine and huperzine A, derived from Chinese club moss, can boost the levels of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, which is absolutely crucial for efficient muscle activation. Furthermore, certain breathing techniques commonly used by superagers stimulate the vagus nerve, which plays a key role in regulating neuromuscular transmission. Simple breathing exercises, like box breathing, inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, can increase the neural activation of muscles by as much as 15% in just 5 minutes a day. Perhaps most intriguing is the direct link between challenging mental activity and the maintenance of neuromuscular connections. A seminal study found that older adults who regularly engaged in demanding cognitive activities had significantly better preserved muscle function. Because the neuromuscular system and the brain share numerous neural pathways, the researchers concluded that consistent brain training has a direct positive impact on the neuromuscular system. By actively using these neuromuscular preservation techniques, superagers can maintain strong brain-muscle connections well into their 80s and beyond, allowing them to recruit muscle fibers with remarkable efficiency. Habit 7. Progressive resistance exercise, the ultimate anti-aging prescription. The single most crucial habit that truly distinguishes exceptionally strong individuals in their 80s is what experts have unequivocally called the most powerful anti-aging drug ever discovered. This habit is progressive resistance training, but critically, not in the way most seniors typically approach it. Superagers, whose strength levels utterly defy their chronological age, actively combat the biological processes of muscle loss through meticulously targeted resistance training programs. Most older adults never grasp this fundamental truth. Your muscles operate on a strict use it or lose it principle, but with a vital caveat. To maintain them, you must progressively challenge them. Simply maintaining the same modest weights week after week, engaging in casual walking, or performing basic water aerobics will not be sufficient to preserve significant muscle mass beyond the age of 60. How does the superager approach differ? First, the paramount emphasis is on intensity, not duration. Research has decisively shown that just 2 weeks of high-intensity resistance training, performed to the point of temporary muscle failure, where you cannot complete another repetition with proper form, resulted in greater muscle gain in seniors compared to 5 weeks of moderate intensity exercise. The key is to genuinely reach that point where your muscles are truly challenged. This triggers robust protein synthesis in the muscles for up to 72 hours after exercise, sending potent anabolic signals for growth and repair. Secondly, superagers prioritize compound movements, which simultaneously engage multiple muscle groups. Modified versions of foundational exercises like squats, deadlifts, rows, pushes, and pulls, tailored to their individual mobility and joint health, are emphasized. These multi-joint movements elicit a far stronger hormonal response compared to isolated exercises like bicep curls or leg extensions. Thirdly, they consistently employ the principle of progressive overload, meaning they gradually increase the challenge over time. Using the exact same weights month after month leads to stagnation, as your muscles quickly adapt to the repetitive stress. Superagers meticulously track their workouts and consistently push themselves to do slightly more each time, whether it's more weight, more repetitions, or more sets. Fourthly, they specifically emphasize the eccentric or lowering phase of exercises. This controlled lowering of the weight is particularly beneficial for strengthening muscles in older adults. Slowing down the lowering of the weight places more tension and stress on the muscles without adding excessive stress on the joints. Amazingly, this method proves highly effective even for those who are starting resistance training late in life, demonstrating the body's incredible capacity for adaptation. A groundbreaking study vividly demonstrated that older adults who initiated a 12-week progressive resistance training program saw their strength increase by an astounding 35% and gained an average of 3.3 pounds of muscle. Alongside these remarkable physical changes, they also experienced significant improvements in cognitive function, bone density, and blood glucose control. So, what's the most common and dangerous mistake made by retirees? Many mistakenly believe that resistance training is too risky or simply inappropriate for them. However, the real danger lies in failing to engage in resistance training, which is absolutely essential for preventing further muscle loss and the associated risks of frailty, debilitating falls, and ultimately, dependence. If you were to take away only one thing from this entire discussion, make it the profound importance of progressive resistance training. Seek guidance from a qualified trainer to ensure you are performing the exercises correctly and gradually increase the intensity to match your evolving fitness level. Just 2 focused 30-minute sessions per week can have an unparalleled and transformative impact on your aging process. These are the 7 meticulously researched habits that explain the remarkable muscular strength maintained by some extraordinary individuals in their 80s. Choose one habit that you can easily integrate into your routine starting today, and gradually work towards adopting the others. Investing in your strength and independence now will yield immeasurable benefits for the rest of your life. Now it's your turn to share. Are you currently practicing any of these 7 habits? Which one surprised you the most or resonated with you the most? Do you know someone who possesses remarkable strength for their age? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Thank you for watching.